So my dear brothers, we have just seen two video clips. Know what is cloning, the origin of cloning. No, let us get into now theory aspect. The announcement in February 1997 of the birth of Dolly, the first mammal cloned from an adult cell, marked a clear dividing line in the history of cloning research. So the Dolly first cloning was done in the year 1997. No, the goat was named Dolly. That is what you call name of the country, the particular country. No, where what you call name of the place. No, where what you call the cloning was done. Before Dolly, cloning was a complex technique of limited use. It might have worked occasionally in lower organisms such as frogs. It might even have been possible to clone some mammals using cells taken from early embryos, but most scientists viewed the cloning of mammals from adult cells as impossible. So even before what you call cloning, the sheep, the Dolly, the scientists believed that even scientists, they also worked on other animals such as frogs, even other animals, but then it was a failure. It was not what you call successful story. Before 1997. The Dolly experiment is often cited as proof of just how inefficient and dangerous cloning can be. Okay, in 1996, Dr. John Wilmuth and his associate at the Roslin Institute injected the nucleus of the cells taken from the 6-year-old sheep. We have seen in the video, two sheeps, they were taken, and what you call the cells and what you call eggs, they were placed into another surrogate mother. Those 6-year-old sheep into 277 unfertilized eggs, not one or two, 277 unfertilized eggs. The experiment produced 29 embryos. Okay, the experiment produced 29 embryos. What about other embryos? Same thing is happening to human beings, in the IVF or what you call the place of cloning when they want to do. That is why the church is against what you call, as I said, the stem cell research, embryonic stem cell research. Other ones they just discard, just to throw them away. The experiment produced 29 embryos that were inserted into 13 sheeps. Okay, 29 embryos they inserted into only 13 sheeps. One sheep became pregnant and gave birth to a healthy lamb called. Then what about other 12? Totally 13 sheep. Among 13, one gave birth. They say only one sheep became pregnant and gave birth to a healthy lamb. That is a Dolly. What about other 12? We don't know. The results are failure. Results are failure. Well, Dolly was born on 5th July 1996. She was named after the country singer Dolly Parton, not the what you call place or country name. She was named after a famous singer Dolly Parton, partly to reflect her genetic origins as a mammary gland cell. You might be wondering, just how scientists can be sure that Dolly was a clone, how the sheep came out or made out of cloning. In Dolly's case, only one animal survived out of what you call 277 attempts. We have seen here, what you call they were totally about 277 fertilized eggs. Then out of that, only 29 embryos survived. In 29 embryos, they took only 13 sheep. In 13 sheep, only one became pregnant and gave birth to Dolly. Now, in Dolly's case, only one animal survived out of what you call 277 attempts. Maybe the surrogate sheep was already pregnant, or perhaps Dolly resulted not from a differentiated cell, but a stray immature cell accidentally picked up in the laboratory. You don't know what happened in the laboratory, that which shows some successful, some life, and that which shows very active. The scientists believe that that particular embryo or cell, they are active and they can give a good life or healthy life, but after replacing, we don't know how the body, the immune system adapts in the sheep, and it is all man-made, man-made and science-made, not the natural cycle, natural way. You imagine, think of goats and the calves, of the buffaloes or cows, goats, when they are crossed, naturally, and pregnancy takes place naturally, the children are the sheep are, little ones are healthier, they are healthy and they are good, strong. But rather when things are made with the chemical and in the lab, by man, not by the animal, then things are different, a lot of failures and a lot of risk, That is why the reason they are giving maybe the surrogate sheep which they took, maybe she was already pregnant or she might have had some defects, or the immune power system of that surrogate mother sheep was not that adaptive to the cloning that was made by the scientists, in the lab, then they inserted, there are a lot of stories behind. Following the reports of the cloning of Dolly, the sheep in Scotland, there is increasing speculation about cloning human beings. After the cloning of Dolly, the sheep, scientists were looking forward to clone a human being, to clone a human being. Imagine I am a singer, I am a famous singer of this country, so the people or my family, even myself, I want exactly the photocopy or Xerox copy of myself to another, of course, through the through my marital relationship. I may be having child, a boy or girl, maybe, may not be, having similar qualities or similar physical structure. However, in cloning, they think that same copy of mine could be reproduced. Okay, same copy of mine could be reproduced, so that they want to give an attempt to the human beings, not only with the animals and sheep. They want to give an attempt. Scientists, they have a vision, a future vision. The vision is even do a cloning to human beings. When people are, suppose I am popular cricket player, they want to reproduce copy of this particular cricket player, so my country will have a strong batsman or bowler, whatever be. But then it is not a successful story. There are issues behind. Cloning is a complex procedure by which scientists take a body cell, such as a skin cell, somatic cell, and render the cell's nucleus into a primitive state, so it is capable of guiding the development of another human being under the right conditions. The nucleus of an egg is removed and replaced by the nucleus of somatic cell. The egg is then given an electrical charge. Okay, the egg is given an electrical charge, and new life begins to grow. Where? Everything in the lab, outside the human body. That's a problem. No one has yet engendered, procreated a human being through cloning. But many scientists believe that this is only a question of time. Soon there will be a time, in another century, another few decades, where the scientists will be able to say, we have made a human person using our science and technology, the cloning. So far they have trialed with animal, the doll is a sheep. Now they are looking forward for an human person, human beings. They want to do it everything there by themselves. So they don't need a man or woman. They just need their cells, eggs and sperms. They do it everything there in the lab. That's what they are trying to do. There are number of reasons why someone would try to engender a new human life through cloning. None would be morally legitimate. For example, a couple may want to use a cell from a dying child to clone another baby as a way of perpetuating the life of the first child. Imagine a child is going to die, so the couples are desiring, they are looking forward the same child that they are having. So they want to use, for example, the cloning, so that they can get the same image, the beauty, the skin and teeth and the cheeks and the hair, legs, everything. They want to have the copy of the previous child who is going to die, through cloning. Obviously, this would not be a continuation of the dying child, but the bringing into being a new child. The dying child would become a progenitor, that is a biologically related ancestor of that particular child of a new life without having agreed to it. The new child would not be treated as unique individual with his or her own identity, but as an extension of another person. Okay? When the child grows and they would treat the child not of not of the virgin that the couple had before, because that particular child previous were conceived in the womb, mother's womb, and was a natural birth, whereas the second child which they desired through cloning may not have the same natural qualities or that which the first child was having. Surely the child will be having lot of defects, and we don't know, child might die when after few years. Just in the case of Dolly, it survived only 6 or 9 years. In 1997 they brought the Dolly through cloning. In 2006 died. Only 8-9 years it survived. Of course they have to pay very highly, they have to take care round the clock, whereas other sheep we just leave them for grazing and bring them back, tie them again, leave them. But the Dolly was not like that. They have to give so much care, so that life could be extended, or it could have life, but then it was only a failure. A man or woman might also want to have a baby without getting married. It's another problem. And what is the purpose of you and me, man and woman? What is the purpose of man and woman? If cloning, if everything you are doing through science, then there is no purpose, meaning in marriage. There is no meaning in conjugal relationship. The marital purpose, marital relationship is not met. And there is no existence, the mutual understanding or mutual relationship between husband and wife, or living together, or couples. You can say, it's not my child, or you can say, this is not my child. It was made up of science, made out by the scientists and technicians. And they have to say, this is a child of that lab, that hospital, not ours. Not ours. So, a man or woman might also want to have a baby without getting married, or involving a parent of the opposite sex. Some homosexual people have said that cloning would be a perfect way to have children. A lot of women, they don't want to be under men. They don't want to be under men. They don't want to marry, but they want to have a child. They want to have a child through cloning. Through cloning. Suppose they want to have a child, taking human sperms and egg, then they have to be partially responsible, or so they prefer do it everything in the lab, so they don't have to be under anybody. They have to be responsible, or they can do whatever they want. So nothing is taking place in their own human body. Their beauty, their skin, everything is preserved. It is not operated, or they are not taking any medicine, so they are safe. They want to maintain their tender age, or they don't want to undergo any risk, or they don't undergo any pressure or the burden of carrying the child. So they want everything done it in the in the lab. That is what taking place. So some homosexual people have said that the cloning would be the perfect way to have children. Because they would not have to marry someone of the opposite sex. They are homosexual. Where men or women live together, lesbians or gay, they want to marry the opposite sex, but they want to have children. Imagine, we too are gay. We don't want to marry to women, but we want to have a child. Where to get child? They want through cloning. So this is what taking place. We are going along with the science, with this kind of science and with this kind of understanding of having children. This would be terribly unfair to the child. Imagine the child is growing, that which came out of cloning, and the child knows, I was made not created, or not brought forth through natural way, or through natural pregnancy, or conception, but then everything done by the machine. What would be the psychological factors of that particular child who was made in the lab, who was made by the machines? There are a lot of issues involved in that. Depriving him or her of a natural father and mother. If you would ask of that child, who is your father and mother, the child will not be able to say, that machine is my father, and the other, another another hospital is my mother. That mission is my father. That is the hospital which gave me life is another my father. The child will not be able to say her or his biological original father and mother. This is a problem with the cloning. Some may want to clone themselves. As I said, some want to have the copy of themselves, thinking that they are so intelligent and successful that the child with their attributes would be a great gift to society. As I said, if I am a great singer, if I am a great cricket player, I want to produce just exactly the copy of mine. So the country or my family will have another singer similar to me or another player equal to me. That's what people are desiring sometimes, This would be an act of supreme selfishness that would also deprive a child of a mother and a father, anticipating that one day the cloning of human being might be attempted. Biomedical said this: attempts, fission, cloning or what you call parthenogenesis, that is a reproduction from an ovum without fertilization, especially as a normal process in vertebrates and in what you call in other lower plants, are to be considered contrary to moral law, since they are in opposition to the dignity of both human procreation and the conjugal union that is taking place in a marital life. Now, most disturbing of all, some researchers want to use cloning to create human beings solely for experimentation and destruction. That's what we have seen. Even in the stem cell research, the church would encourage that which you save and what you replace one cell with another. Okay, but then when it comes to the question of destruction and experimentation, then church would not keep quiet. Here in cloning also, the church will not keep quiet any experimentation, any destruction that is done on human beings. That will come to know next point about the church. They propose to supply genetically matched tissues for treating various diseases by making human embryos from patients' body cells, then dissecting these developing embryos for their spare parts. Some even speak of growing genetically altered headless or brainless human clones as organ forms, argue that such creatures will be exploited for any needed organs because they would not have the status of persons. Those people, human beings, if they have come out or made out of cloning, they will not have the equal human status because they could be easily exploited, saying you are not made, or you are not brought out to this world, from the what you call a human body. You are made by the missions. You are made by the missions, and you are subjected to destroy or subject to what you call use the way we want. Surely the scientists will even they could fix instead of natural organs, even they could remove the organs, they could fix the missions, other things that which functions or that which regulates human body, and they can remove it whenever they want. So it naturally loses the status of human person. Okay. Now let us see what the church says. The Catholic Church has become the leading voice against any form of human cloning, and even against the creation of human embryonic stem cells lines from excess, what you call the balance, or what you call which is kept after use in vitro fertilization embryos that are balanced. They go on experimenting, or they go on what you call doing other business. Their prohibitive stance is based on 1987 document entitled as what you call Instruction on Respect for Human Life in its Origin and the Dignity of Procreation, that is Biomedical, that we have assignment on that, published by the Congregation of the Doctrine of Faith. Roman Catholics were told that cloning is categorically considered contrary to the moral law. Cloning is contrary to the moral law. Since it is in opposition to the dignity of both human procreation and the conjugal union. Any attempts at cloning are therefore a violation of the dignity of human embryo, which is granted the status of person from the point of fertilization of the oocyte oocyte is what you call is a term used for embryo, which is in the form of small cell. Oocyte is the very beginning of human life. In the simplest of terms, it is an immature egg cell. Okay, throughout the process of ovulation, this immature egg cell eventually matures and becomes ovum, egg, etc. So, oocyte is a term given to the particular thing that which forms or matures later into egg or ovum. So, before the stage of egg and ovum, it is called as or termed as oocyte. The two thing. Human cloning is morally wrong. Human cloning is morally wrong. Why? Because it undermines the dignity of a human person. That is what is very important here. It undermines or delimits the importance or the dignity of what we call so-called the human person. Instead of cooperating with the God's will to procreate through conjugal act of marriage, cloning involves the creation of human life according to the scientist. Here the scientist is willing. Scientist is deciding everything. What to decide, what to give life and what not to give life, what to destroy and what to not to destroy. So the scientist plays the role of God here, not the real original couple or God. Okay. So everything is done according to the scientist's will and predetermined specifications. So he decides everything. Which cell, which embryo to be placed. Other ones, only he knows what he is going to do. Nobody knows what is happening in the lab. The creation of human life is reduced to manufacturing process. We manufacture cars, we manufacture vehicles, we manufacture mobiles, computers, etc., etc. So in cloning, we are reducing the human beings into manufacturing equal to any other machines. Machines, they don't have the life. They are non-materials. They are just materials. They are for our use. They are for our use. They don't carry the dignity that we human beings carry. Okay, so the church is against because we are equally brought to any of the machines or that are manufactured in the in the company, in the lab. Pope John Paul said to the to the 18th International of the Congress of Transplantation Society in the year 2000, the article number 8, he says the following way: in any event, methods that fail to respect the dignity and value of the person must always be avoided. I am thinking in particular of attempts at human cloning with a view to obtaining organs for transplants. These techniques, insofar as they involve the manipulation and the destruction of human embryos, are not morally acceptable. Even when their proposed goal is good in itself. Scientists may argue, I am destroying this particular embryo or this particular cell in order to give life to another. But whatever you are giving life to another, but what about that which you destroyed, that which you damaged? So church says it is morally unacceptable. Even though scientists, their personal or proposed goal is good in itself. Science itself points to other forms of therapeutic intervention which would not involve cloning or the use of embryonic cells, but rather would make use of stem cells taken from adults. There are many other methods, many other ways. Instead of going for cloning, or instead of going for embryonic stem cell research, the church and science, they have found many other alternative methods in which life could be saved without destroying human embryos. This is the direction that the research must follow if it wishes to respect the dignity of each and every human being, even at the embryonic stage. Again, this is a quote taken from a Pontifical Academy for Life, reflecting or reflections on cloning, that was published by Vatican in the year 1997, article number 3. In the cloning process, the basic relationships of the human person are cut off. They are perverted. They are not taking place. Normally, the human after in the marital life, man and woman husband and wife come together through the act, conjugal act, they have what you call a procreation, bringing up their children. But in cloning, this is not taking place. The human relationship basically cut off. So it is cut off, what you call also in the form of filiation and consanguinity, kinship, parenthood. This everything is taken out in cloning. In vitro fertilization has already led to confusion of parentage, but cloning will mean the radical rupture of these bonds. Cloning will completely take away the idea of fatherhood or what we call a motherhood, so-called the parents. Okay, the child is manufactured. The child is manufactured or what we call created by the scientist in the lab. The human cloning project represents the terrible aberration to which value-free science is driven, and is a sign of profound malaise of our what we call human civilization, which looks to a science, technology, and the quality of life as surrogates for the meaning of life and its salvation. Halting the human cloning project is a moral duty, which must also be translated into cultural, social, and legislative terms. So, my dear brothers, here we conclude, the church would not agree in line with cloning, because here the doctor decides. Moreover, it is the child doesn't enjoy the original fatherhood or motherhood, and we don't know how long the child is going to live. Just in the case of Dolly, which lived 8 to 9 years later, it had its own risk. And you saw the number, out of 277 embryonic cells which had life, only few survived, and among 14, only one sheep got pregnant, got conceived and was pregnant, gave birth to Dolly, when that Dolly would not survive for many years. So there are a lot of complications, high risk, and there are also diseases being spread, what we call in the course, the process of cloning. So church would not tolerate, would not what you call permit, to the science and technology in terms of cloning. Okay, so I may explain more in the notes, where you can read and understand. Also, we have 2 videos we have seen. There also we have more ideas and what is the what you call medicine and scientists, how they bring about the cloning. Also, we saw in the first video how there is also risk in breeding when they want to bring about Bengal tiger, or when they want to bring about a cow. They want to multiply the same cow which gives more milk, or a particular Bengal tiger, to want to preserve. But there are also dangers. There are also ethical problems in bringing them up. Maybe what you call they would not survive for a long time, or there may be some diseases, or it is highly risky, or also lot of expense they have to take up. So it is better that we go the natural way, natural way, and natural circle, a natural cycle. Everything what you call as God has given, God has directed, shall not go against the nature and God's plan. So here we stop what you call our biomedical ethics. Last year we conclude. Of course, there are a few points like aging and death, and ethics of surgery. These are there. What you call these things already we have what you call dealt partially, what you call in our palliative care, spiritual care of the sick, death and dying, etc. These things already we learned, as we learned what you call embryonic, egg, sperm, etc. So there are any doubts, feel free to write to me, feel free to ask me about the date of exam yet to be finalized. We will talk to Dean and we will let you know. All the houses, you would be informed about the date of exams. Okay, Arun will inform. But then the what you call the mode of exam, as after consultation with the Dean, we came to an agreement. We'll have an oral exam. Okay, we'll have an oral exam. For timing, we have 2 assignments. One is Evangelium Vitae, other one is Donum Vitae. So already some of the brothers have submitted personally. First assignment, some have written 1 page. I had asked for 1 page, some have written 2 pages. Fine, no problem. But you stick to 1 page. It will be nice. It will be 1 or 1.5 page if at all you want a maximum. So Donum Vitae also, you are to write about 1 page, and either you can give it to me personally, either typed or handwritten. If typed, times New Roman 12. Okay, don't take 16 or 18 size. It will be what you call it. In 5 lines you will complete a page. No, take the size number 12 and what you call as what you call. You have the this one. No, what you call. This is the methodology for the methodology. Okay, so we have what you call 2 assignments. Each carries about 20 marks each. Okay, each carries about 20 marks each. So we have already 40 marks set apart. So the oral exam would be for 60 marks. Now, in oral exams, I may prepare for some 5-6 questions. Or we have to come and take lot. No, you take the lot, whatever the question is there, you talk, you explain about that particular topic. No, even I may ask you about what you call even this. No, for example, if I ask you, if I would ask you about what you call sure, IVF for abortion, what is transplantation? No, what is xenotransplantation? Or tell me something about what you call cloning, or a church view on cloning. What does the church say about stem cell research? The church is in favor or against? No, when I say ask, you may say against, and you don't stop there. Father, church is against. It's over. Answer is over. No, you have to explain why the church is against. Suppose if I would ask about palliative care or spiritual caring of the sick, you should be able to speak at least 3 to 4 minutes. No, don't say one word, one sentence and stop. No, I want you explain more. I want you that you speak more. I have spoken so far 30 hours. Now I want that you speak during the exam. I am the listener. I am going to listen to you. Okay. So you prepare what you call 2 works. I'm sure I'm going to ask from the work also. I may ask you to summarize 2 minutes. Any one work I may ask. Explain about what you understood about Evangelium Vitae, or what you understood about Donum Vitae. Explain in your own words. No. Then again we'll go for taking lots. There will be 5, 6 or 8 questions. You take one lot and you try to explain. Okay. I shall give it on Monday. I shall give it on Monday, and we'll have some time for exam gap, 1 or 2 weeks, before we write the exam. So you have sufficient time to go through and read and learn. If any doubts, I'm available, ready to come and explain. Okay, you can call me or write to me. I will write you back, or even I don't mind in coming once again and explaining the terms or idea that you don't follow. Okay, hope you are clear. All the best. Study and come. Okay, study and come. Don't take it easy. Okay, don't take it easy. Study and come, and we'll do the rest.